A 7.6 magnitude earthquake has struck off Japan's northeastern coast.
People in Japan are said to feel some 2,000 tremors each year, since 1/5 of the world's earthquakes of magnitude 6 or higher occur here.
Most offices and shops empty, CCTV catching the impact.
Tokyo is standing on borrowed time, and it's not from war, not from economic collapse, but from the geological certainty that the plates beneath the world's largest city are locked in compression that will eventually release with catastrophic force. Right now, the government estimates a 70% chance of a magnitude 7 earthquake striking directly underneath the capital in the next 30 years. Not 70% over centuries, within 3 decades. Japanese seismologists have warned of a 70% probability that a magnitude 7 earthquake could strike the southern Kanto region, including Tokyo, within the next 3 decades. And the stakes could not be higher. The greater Tokyo area has an estimated population of 37 to 38 million people, nearly 30% of Japan's total inhabitants. If you include the greater Tokyo metro area of Kanagawa, Saitama, and Chiba, the total population reaches 38 million people, the most populous metropolitan area in the world. Before we break down exactly what would collapse, why Tokyo sits at the intersection of 3 tectonic plates grinding against each other, what happens when 38 million people face a magnitude 7 earthquake that government projections estimate could kill 18,000 and cause $535 billion in economic damage, and why the capital has been waiting for the big one for over a century since the last catastrophic quake. Make sure you subscribe. Because what is building beneath Tokyo right now is not a possibility. It is a statistical near certainty that seismologists can calculate but cannot predict. First, understand the geological reality beneath Tokyo, because the threat is structural. The Tokyo metropolitan area is located on 3 layers of plates. The North American plate is on top, with the Philippine Sea plate under it and the Pacific plate underlying them both. These plates rub or collide with each other, making it a region where earthquakes regularly occur. Major seismic events triggered by subduction of the nearby Philippine plate have repeatedly rattled Tokyo and the southern Kanto region. The most recent was the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, a temblor registering 7.9 on the Richter scale that destroyed large sections of Tokyo and surrounding areas and claimed more than 100,000 lives. 100 years ago this month, Tokyo was flattened. The Great Kanto earthquake killed more than 100,000 people, some 3% of the city's population at the time. There is also a possibility of an earthquake taking place directly under the capital, where major shakes have occurred in the past, including the 1703 Genroku earthquake, magnitude 7.9/8.2, and the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake, magnitude 7.9. The seismic threat is not historical. It is present and mounting. Research estimates the probability of a magnitude 7 earthquake directly under the capital city within the next 30 years at 70%. Experts believe there is a 70% probability of a magnitude 7 or higher tremor striking the area within the next 30 years. This is the probability calculation. Now shift to what that earthquake would destroy. An earthquake with a high likelihood of striking beneath Tokyo could kill 18,000 people and cause 83 trillion yen, $535 billion, in economic damage in the worst-case scenario. The estimated damage was revised down from the government's 2015 projection of 23,000 deaths and economic losses of 95 trillion yen, $611 billion, taking into account progress in making buildings more resistant to earthquakes and fires. The government's new emergency plan is built on estimates of a magnitude 7 quake occurring directly below the Tokyo metropolitan area. Such a quake is predicted to produce shaking of upper 6 on the Japanese seismic intensity scale, which in a worst-case scenario could result in approximately 23,000 fatalities. In addition to loss of life, the emergency plan calculates that as many as 72,000 people will require medical attention. Around 400,000 buildings could be destroyed, and 8.4 million people could be stranded or face difficulty returning home. Disaster-related deaths, such as those caused by deteriorating health while taking shelter, are estimated to reach between 16,000 and 41,000. If a 7.3 magnitude earthquake occurs under heavy winds, it would kill a total of 11,000 people, and total direct and indirect losses would amount to 112 trillion yen, $1.3 trillion. 300,000 elevators will be stopped suddenly, and 12,500 persons would be confined in them for a long time. 7 million people will come to use over 20,000 public shelters spread over the impacted area. Over 1 million temporary housing units should be built to accommodate 4.6 million people who lost their dwellings. 2.5 million people will relocate to outside of the damaged area. Here is where the story reveals a paradox. Tokyo knows the earthquake is coming. The government has invested billions in preparation. Tokyo now boasts a skyline of glass and steel skyscrapers designed with earthquakes in mind. Many buildings are now more resistant to earthquakes compared with 100 years ago. Yet the vulnerability remains structural. The percentage of households that have stockpiled the minimum amount of food necessary for 3 days is only about 50%. Over 30% of households have not stockpiled any food at all. The percentage of people who plan to evacuate to a shelter is approximately 45%. This significantly exceeds the evacuation shelter population coverage rate in Tokyo's 23 wards, which stands at 23%. The math does not work. More people plan to evacuate than shelters can accommodate. Emergency stocks prepared by municipalities and private citizens are expected to run dry within a few days of a quake. Panic bulk buying could lead to supermarkets and convenience stores running out of food, daily necessities, and disaster supplies within hours. And some neighborhoods remain fundamentally indefensible. Particularly important among future countermeasures are fire prevention measures in densely populated residential areas, which account for 2/3 of the death toll. Although densely populated areas within Tokyo have decreased due to measures such as road widening, there are still many areas where aging houses are concentrated and many narrow roads through which emergency vehicles such as fire trucks cannot pass. Arakawa Ward is one of them, with 60% of the ward known as the wooden house concentration area. Many old houses remain without being rebuilt or reinforced to withstand tremors. Let's state the compound crisis plainly. Tokyo sits at the intersection of 4 simultaneous vulnerabilities converging on the same metropolitan area. The geology is locked. 3 tectonic plates grinding against each other beneath the capital, with 70% probability of magnitude 7 earthquake within 30 years. The population is concentrated. 38 million people in the greater Tokyo area, representing nearly 30% of Japan's entire population, making it the most populous metropolitan area in the world. The infrastructure is incomplete. Evacuation shelter capacity covers only 23% of Tokyo's 23 wards, while 45% of people plan to evacuate to shelters. Emergency food stocks will run dry within days, and fire cannot be stopped in densely packed wooden neighborhoods. And the economic impact is existential. Projections estimate $535 billion in direct damage, but long-term economic impact could reach 1 quadrillion yen when infrastructure damage and production losses compound over years. The probability of a lower 6 or greater seismic intensity quake occurring in a prefectural capital is highest in Chiba with 85%, followed by Yokohama at 82%, and Mito, Ibaraki Prefecture, at 81%. So the probability of an occurrence in the Tokyo metropolitan area is extremely high. The Japanese government understands what is coming. In late March, the government unveiled a new disaster response strategy outlining steps for rapid mobilization of up to 140,000 police officers, firefighters, and self-defense force troops nationwide. To speed up distribution of essential items, authorities will establish 8 supply bases in Tokyo and adjacent prefectures to provide shipments of relief goods. 53 million meals, 340,000 blankets, and over 4 million disposable diapers. The emergency plan calls for Tokyo's Outer Loop Road and 8 radial expressways leading into the capital to be closed to all but emergency traffic. Millions travel in and out of the Tokyo metropolitan area from around the Kanto region each day. A daytime quake could potentially leave staggering numbers of workers, students, and others stranded. But preparation cannot eliminate risk when the fundamental equation remains unsolvable. 38 million people concentrated on 3 colliding tectonic plates, with 70% probability of magnitude 7 earthquake within 30 years. To live in Tokyo is to be at once constantly aware of this threat, yet always pushing it to the back of one's mind. Everyone knows the capital is at persistent risk of another disaster. The date is marked each year. For decades, September 1st has been marked in the country as Disaster Prevention Day, a reminder of the need for constant vigilance. The centenary of the 1923 Great Kanto earthquake refocused that thought. 100 years since Tokyo was flattened, 100 years of reconstruction and fortification, and the plates beneath the city continue grinding. The pressure continues building. The 70% probability remains. Munich Re once ranked the Tokyo metropolitan region as the most vulnerable area for earthquake disasters, followed by San Francisco Bay Area and Osaka. Tokyo's mega-earthquake is not approaching. It is statistically overdue. The 1923 Great Kanto earthquake struck 103 years ago. The historical pattern suggests major seismic events in this region occur roughly every 100–150 years. The plates have been locked in compression for over a century. The energy is building. The infrastructure cannot fully protect 38 million people. The shelters cannot accommodate everyone who will need them. The emergency food will run out within days. And the densely packed wooden neighborhoods will burn. The government's damage mitigation targets aim to roughly halve the maximum damage estimated, approximately 23,000 deaths and 10,000 completely collapsed and burned buildings. However, when results were produced, damage estimates only achieved reductions of just over 30% for deaths and approximately 40% for building damage. The preparations fall short. The shelters are insufficient. The concentration of population in a single metropolitan area on active fault lines makes Tokyo uniquely vulnerable among the world's megacities. And the geological certainty remains. 3 tectonic plates beneath the world's largest city will eventually release the pressure that has been building for over a century. Experts say there is a 70% chance of a major earthquake hitting Tokyo within the next 30 years. 30 years. For 38 million people standing above the locked plates. Stay tuned.